As a species, why are we so compelled to challenge ourselves? That driving force which inspires humans to reach their physical limits and push beyond must come from somewhere. What strand in our DNA pushes us to spend countless hours working towards a goal that offers no financial reward, no time to relax, and ultimately will put our bodies in the line of danger? I'm not a scientist, and I certainly don't know where to start finding the answers to our existence. Instead, like countless other humans who've lived on this planet and the ones here today, I have embraced that urge, that driving force to go beyond what is safe and what is easy. I have embraced the spirit of a racer. It is my blood, my life, and my driving force. With all of that, I find myself here in this moment talking to you, trying to describe what it's like to be somebody who lives for racing, somebody that lives for that challenge. And I offer you the opportunity to join me and the crew as we push ourselves to the limit, to feel our buzz and be part of the journey. My name is Sandy Bowman, and I'd like to welcome you back to Aussie Racer. So we find ourselves deep in the heart of Australia. This is a landscape of ancient geology, resilient fauna, and its vast history is buried in the sands of time. Myself and the crew are about to undertake Australia's hardest point-to-point sprint, the bone-crushing and highly coveted Tatts Finke Desert Race. In the Australian off-road calendar, this event is unique in many ways. We will see 600 motorbikes and 132 cars battle their way from Alice Springs down the Old Garn Railway to the Finke Township some 230 kilometres away. This is a sprint, but the rate of attrition is massive. So if you survive the first day, it all happens again the following morning for the run back to Alice Springs. For such a tough event, you'd think everything was on point leading up to it. Of course, in true Aussie Racer fashion, that was not the case. We're running 2 cars, which I'll explain soon, but the twist is, Aussie Racer has a few new members and some are being introduced already in a state of peril. First up is a man who has caught the hearts of fans all over the world. He's a factory KTM rider and has recently dominated the Dakar Rally to be the first Australian to show success in 10 years. This is 4-time Finke winner and legend Toby Price.
Yeah guys, thanks for having us on board. Yeah, we're out at the Finke Desert Race this year, and unfortunately last Sunday I was out practicing and pre-running, and I hit a stick on the side of the track at about 140 kilometres an hour, and that was my result. I had a stick pretty much go straight through my boot, but luckily it didn't enter the skin. Definitely not where I wanted it to be, so preparations to the Finke race this year have been a little bit off. We're going to pull our boot on, get geared up, see what we can do, and we'll get back at their race day. That's what we're here to do. I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. I've already done that one year when I broke my neck, so we're keen to get out there and have another crack.
Toby's primary fellow riders are KTM heavy-hitting young gun Ivan Long and dark horse Ty Simmons. They've entered with a lot of expectations from fans, so the pressure's on those guys who must have copied our love for the orange stuff. Next is Finke Ironman Billy Geddes. He's the only person to attempt this race in both car and on a bike. Like literally race his car to Finke, fly back to Alice Springs and do it all again on his KTM. This man is a machine. Billy was planning on racing his trophy truck Hellboy, but a premature engine failure has relegated him to the pits and primary shit giver for this year's race. Finally, Brady our mechanic and his wife Michelle are having a crack in their well-dressed Class 7 GQ Patrol. This sure is a tough event for these virgins of the Finke Desert Race. Good luck. This is the scrutineering for 130 cars and over 600 bikes. It's a bit of a slow process for us, but it's an awesome opportunity for the spectators to get up and close with all the cars and some of the fastest drivers in the country for off-road vehicles. So just a quick run through some of the classes. This one's a pro buggy, and the only thing really restricting this car is engine capacity, which is a 6-litre maximum. Everything else just has to comply with any of the CAMS regulations. This one's a pro light, basically the same as the pro class buggies. Only thing different in here is engine capacity. Max 3.5-litre V6s. That's pretty much they all run, so they're a good little thing. Pretty quick. One of the largest classes in off-road events is the Super 1650, these little boys. They're a quick, lightweight and affordable class to get into. Max engine capacity is 1650cc and a hell of a lot of fun. Class 3, Sportsman's class. This one runs a 1300cc max capacity. This particular one runs a Hayabusa motor, which is popular in off-road and some tarmac events in different vehicles. But these are a ripper little thing to play around in also. Class 4, the big boys, trophy trucks. This one here is built in Australia in a shed by a previous Finke champion. These are awesome. Anything goes, just got to be 2-wheel drive, resemble a production car, and 6-litre engine capacity again. They're mad. This main thing is Class 5, which is a performance 2-wheel drive. They've got a few limitations on what they can do, but basically 6 litres engine capacity max again. The main thing with this class is it's based off an original factory chassis. Behind me is the newest addition to off-road racing in Australia, the side-by-sides. Class 6, I don't know a lot about them. They're about 1,000cc, some are boosted, some aren't. The guys seem to have an absolute ball in these things though. Class 7. Like Bretti's car, this car here has a lot of limitations on what it can have modified. It's got to basically run a standard driveline. You can play around with some of the bits and pieces, but it basically has to remain standard and in its original position. This fine vehicle is Class 8. Extreme full drive, it's got to have front and rear wheels locked in. Apart from that, it's only really a 6-litre and resemble a production vehicle somewhere in the world, so pretty easy class to get into. So that's all the classes for off-road racing in Australia. I know we're up soon, so we better go and get our own car through scrutineering. Inside the shed, it's a hive of activity, and the crowd's building as the cars slowly filter through this audacious process. Every piece of our gear is checked, and here's a good time to introduce Baha Bill. Believe it or not, he's the actual owner of this car, and he used to run it as a top-end winch truck before I converted it to its current form. I'm always uncomfortable during scrutineering. Every event has different officials, and their perception of the rules can be far from consistent. And whether they're right or wrong, they have the final say.
2 years. 2 years on them, and they're out of date. And you can't race with these belts.
Well, they're not out of date. They've still got 12 months on them. 5 years.
No, they're SFIs, they're not FIAs.
We're in trouble. Well, I'm saying they're in date because they've still got another 18 months left on them. The car's been raced in the last 6 months and 12 months without harnesses in date, so. Bretty and me shall roll in for their turn in the poo pit, while I'm scouring the world for a solution to our dilemma.
Sandy's just had a few dramas with his scrutineering, so we're just hoping that we have a bit better luck. Hopefully the new car is all good, so fingers crossed.
He needs some harnesses. They go on a use-by date, so we're going to pull them out of the Hellboy and put them in the old rental here. She'll be all good to go.
So we got some harnesses. I'm in a better mood. This is the moto section, with over 600 bikes, all trying to knock our Toby off his perch. And seriously, this isn't even half of them. 600 bikes is a lot when they're all in one place. The boys from KTM are being hammered with fans, and Toby's been keeping the state of his foot on the down low. Only giveaway is he can hardly walk. Tough unit, this one. Brady and Michelle made it through with only the fire extinguishers, causing the scrutineers concern. And we carried on in our usual mature fashion.
This is a jerk! Jerk.
In true Aussie Racer style, we want to let you know how we're standing in scrutineering. Toby Price has got a bung leg. We don't know where he stands this moment in time. Geddes has got a blown motor. Foster, their extinguishers, we don't know if they're legit up to standard. And of course, Sandy Bowman, the harnesses are out of date. Good on you, Aussie Racer.